Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing another ranking. Now it's gonna be a ranking every Mario 64 levels. So Mario's 40th anniversary is coming up pretty soon, and I thought that it would be pretty fun to rank every level from the first 3D Mario game, because I'm telling you, we are definitely getting a new 3D Mario, like 100%. It's happening for 40th anniversary, and so it will be fun to revisit all the levels again and rank them from worst to best. And I'll only be ranking these levels here, the main levels. So any like the small levels, I'm not going to be ranking them. And then I'm not going to rank any Mario 64 DS levels either. But again, the new levels are primarily the small levels as well. And so yeah, only these main 15 levels. But with that said, let's get started. And I'm gonna have to give the last place, sadly, to Dire Dire Docks. Now, I wish if I like Dire Dire Docks. The music is phenomenal, but it's just that water level is, it's just not fun. Like, I'm telling you, the only star I had fun with in this level are the Bowser ship star and the other star, like you fly through the manta ray strings. That is the other star I enjoyed. But otherwise though, like every other star isn't that good. Like the treasure's chest, it is pretty creative, but it's also like, it's okay, it's not creative, like it's unique but pretty boring, you know. Like swimming through the chest, it's just not that fun for me in my opinion. And then the red coin star, yeah, the only star other than the Bowser's ship star. The red coin star is the only star that does not take place in the water, yet it still sucks. I'm telling you, the red coin star is probably my least favorite in the game. It's just too slow. And I'm saying this in a Mario 64 original perspective, because the DS I played it on the emulator, but the Mario 64 I played it on the 3D All-Stars. The coin's not fun. I'm sorry, Dire Dire Docks. The stars aren't that great. The metal cap star going through the rings is fine, but the cage, it's nothing too special. It's just a manta ray star and then the Bowser submarine. And not to mention that, like, once you defeat Bowser, like, you cannot do, you cannot like see the Bowser submarine again. You know, it just disappears, which is kind of sad. But yeah, Dire Dire Docks will be last place, sadly. Now, my second least favorite, which is also the second least favorite level, is Jolly Roger Bay. It has the same issues as Dire Dire Docks, where, you know, it's a water level. But this water level does feel more open than Dire Dire Docks. Dire Dire Docks, it feels linear and it has two sections as well. Dire Dire Docks, you only have one. The first star is really creative. You know, you first have to like be above there, you know, and then wait for the eel to come out, and then after the eel comes out, then you go inside the submarine, and then you have to open the chest in correct order. You know, in DS they nerfed that, but I'm not judging this based on DS. But thankfully, original Mario 64, you only have to open like 4 of them, and it's really creative. You know, that is definitely like, it's one of the more creative stars in Mario 64 water levels. And then like we got some other stars, like the metal cap star. It's just pretty basic, nothing too special. I do like the red coin stars, but like the underwater one, being in clamps, the idea is pretty creative, but it's a bit too slow. The coins in the ship too, like the fact that like once you beat star 1, the ship finally floats, and that's pretty cool touch. And I honestly did not mention the 100 coin stars. Dire Dire Docks again has the worst 100 coin stars. Jolly Roger Bay does have better 100 coin star than Dire Dire Docks, but it actually has 2 coins less. Like these two have the shortest amount of coins. Like this one too, the 100 coin star, you know, it's pretty strict. but then there are definitely like creative elements. Like the ship star is pretty good. The treasure chest star, like the pattern inside the cave, that's fine. But it's not, again, it's too basic. The blast away the wall though, not blast away the wall. Blast to the lonely pillar. Is that the name? You know, you used cannon. That's actually pretty fun. I actually do enjoy that. But otherwise, much like Dar Dar Docks, you know, the water level just takes down the fun. But overall, there are more creative elements to Jolly Roger Bay than Dar Dar Docks, which is why it ranks a spot above. The next level, the Rainbow Ride. The level, it's really slow, you know, easily the worst non-water Mario 64 level. And a lot of people, they say that this is worse than Jolly Roger Bay and Dar Dar Docks, or at least worse than Jolly Roger Bay. But honestly, there's something that I do like about Rainbow Ride. Some of the stars are actually pretty creative. The Tricky Triangle Star, that's actually a pretty creative concept. Like the one that has the swings, that is also pretty creative. 8 Coin Star, easily the best combined 8 Coin Star. It does a good job combined because I do like the puzzles, like the pattern. You're the maze, you know, you go to one side and then to the next side. I really enjoy that. And then the ship part, that is a really cool one. That's a pretty cool area. Try to get the star. It's not that much of a challenge, but like the ship is really cool. And the big house too looks pretty fun. Like, it looks cool. But those 2 stars really go down because of the flying carpets. Are too slow, you know. Had they been a bit faster, it would have been nice. And there would also be some challenge. I do want to say that the Rainbow Ride does have the best blue coin switch out of all the levels. Because Rainbow Ride blue coin switch actually requires challenge. Well, you have to wall jump through the walls in order to get 5 blue coins. But, you know, wall jumping in Mario 64, or at least in the original Mario 64, is kind of a pain in the ass because you have to perfectly time the wall jumps in order to wall jump properly. And you're not required to get the blue switch because it has more than enough coins. But the consequence for missing those coins is that you have to go in more places. But you were also given a free 1 blue coin, you know. That is pretty cool. Although I kind of wish what they did is that for the blue coin, like each spot you wall jump, that's where you get the blue coin. And you go all the way to the top to get the final blue coin. That would be nice. But I'm still happy it's like this too. It's pretty cool. But yeah, the red coin star is pretty creative, the Tricky Triangle is pretty creative, but damn, this level is just too slow. Because it's too slow, I'm gonna have to put this in 13th place. Easily the worst non-water level in Mario 64. Next up, we got Hazy Maze Cave. There's something like, it's a really cool idea, you know, they're pretty creative puzzles, they're pretty creative stars. Now, Star 1 is actually kind of creative because you have to go all the way to the maze, to the bottom area, and then you have to ride on Dory. By that, you have to ground pound on Dory, and the slope is pretty steep, so you can't just climb up to the platform. And so you have to use Dory, and that is a really creative idea. Definitely a well executed star. But then you also have some other stars as well, like the Toxic Maze. It's pretty cool when you get the metal cap. And the red coin star though, I'm not a huge fan of the red coin star. Like, it's pretty creative, like it has a unique concept where you have to ride on the platform. It's not like too special, you know, it's not that much fun for me. And then the Hazy Maze Cave, like the Toxic Maze, that's actually pretty cool. Like when you have the metal cap, then you're immune to take damage from the poison. You have the blue coin switch, and yeah. And the secret exit is also pretty cool, because on top of like trying to find out the secret exit, you also will like have to climb the ceiling in order to get to the star. And you know, if you accidentally let go of the button, then you'll likely die. And so that is an extra cool challenge for the exit. And then watch for Rolling Rock Star. It just sucks, you know. You don't have to watch for Rolling Rocks. It's too easy to avoid them. And the star is nothing too special. And then the 100 coin star, like, you are required to get the blue switch. I'm not a huge fan of the design, not a huge fan of the red coin star. And then Metalhead Mario Can Move star. The idea is pretty cool, you know. The fact that you're required to use the metal cap is pretty cool. And then you have to make several long jumps, not too easy. It's like that, but overall the maze, the aesthetic kind of looks a bit dull. But also at the same time, you know, I also like other stages more. It's still a good stage, definitely better than Rainbow Ride. Hazy Maze Cave ranks 12th place. Next up, we got Wet Dry World. Now, first I want to say, this has the most creative stage gimmick out of all the stages, and that is the water switch mechanic. And now first of all, like, you don't even have to click the switch to change the water level. That's not the only way. You know, the height where you land in the painting, that is also a factor in what the water level is going to be. And so, yeah, the swimming part does kind of suck, but at the same time you can just lower the water level and you don't have to like swim. It's like that. Stars are pretty creative. I do like the first star. No, not the first star, the second star I like. And the third star, you have to punch a brick, open the gate, and then climb the platform. You know, that's what you gotta do. That's pretty cool concept. The first star is kind of a joke. You know, like just teleport and then get the star like that. Pretty easy. And so, there's that. My favorite star though is the 8 red coin star. It takes place in the city. The only flaw for that is that you have to do some swimming to get to the city. But the city itself is really cool. I really like the city. And the 8 red coins, trying to get them is pretty fun as well. And I think that you're required to have no water in order to get 8 red coins, because you have to break the blocks, and so it's actually pretty fun. I actually enjoyed that star. At least like the stars are more creative, and the gimmick overall is better than Hazy Maze Cave, which is why it ranks above. So Wet Dry World, 11th place. At 10th place, we got Tall Tall Mountain. So the thing about Tall Tall Mountain is that, and you do a lot of climbing, you know, you have to go all the way up to the mountain for some stars. So the first star, you need to go all the way up the mountain. For the monkey star, which I believe is the second star, you have to go all the way up the mountain as well. It's pretty cool, like exploring the mountain. You also got the Lonely Mushroom star. That honestly, you know, I'm not like a huge fan of that, because I personally kind of find that to be a bit tedious, because once you land on the cannon, then it's like you only have one shot, and if you miss, you die. The Lonely Mushroom star, it's not like that fun if you do it the intended way, but then if you jump on a Shy Guy and then you fly, you spin around, then it's a lot fun, you know. There's that. And then I do like the slide star. I actually do enjoy the slide, but honestly, if you're going for the star, like, you can just easily cheese that by doing a jump kick above the place where you get the star, and then you just grab the star like that. DS, it kind of remedied that by adding a cage there, and so can't just collect the star without doing the slide. But you do need to slide for the 100 coin star. And I do like that inclusion, you know, the fact that you're required to use the slide for a 100 coin star is pretty cool. And then there's like the switch star as well, where like the switch star, I mean, you have to like go inside, you have to like hit the switch button, and then box appears and then you collect a star. That I'm not a huge fan of that, honestly. So, and then the monkey star too. Like trying to catch the monkey is a bit annoying as well. The idea is pretty cool. It's just a bit annoying. But overall, like, this begins the stages that honestly I find to have little to no flaws. You know, these are actually a good stages, and now it's a matter of like how creative the levels are, the stars are, or how much I like the aesthetic of the level more. And so that's how I would check them. But overall, like, there are levels I like even more with creative concepts. But Tall Tower Mountain, pretty good slide stars. You know, the slide star, you know, had they gotten a cage similar to DS, then it would be a lot nicer. But overall, I do think that 10th place is an appropriate spot. Now, the next stage I'm going to be putting is Shifting Sandland. So the Shifting Sandland, I do want to say about Shifting Sandland is that the quicksand, they're nice additions. It fits the desert theme really well. You have 3 levels of quicksand, like a small quicksand, and where like you just like slowly start to sink, but you can jump out easily. The medium level quicksand, where you just like, it tries to pull you in faster, but you can still escape if you're lucky. In the 3rd level of quicksand, you just die instantly. And so that's pretty cool. And now the stars, I do like the red coin star. It's really creative. You have to fly for the red coins, but like not all of them. You only have to fly for some of the red coins. And so you fly for the collect some of the red coins by flying, and then some of the red coins you just have to like hit the box or go all the way behind to an obscure spot. Those are the spots. But like the flying for the red coins, I wish if we could just like fly and get red coins like that that would have been nice. And yeah, and I haven't mentioned about Tall Tower Mountain's red coin star. You know, they're like split up, you know, two groups of 4. You know, this is pretty cool. I do like the red coin star in Tall Tower Mountain, but I do like the Shifting Sandlands red coin star a bit more. But now I want to talk about the main event, the pyramid itself. And before that, I also have to talk about the bird. It's pretty fun trying to catch the bird with the star, but it's kind of easy to do that. And the second star, it's above the pyramid. Nothing too crazy about that, but like getting it with the Koopa shell is pretty satisfying. You have the pyramid itself, and trying to reach the top of the pyramid is pretty fun if you're getting to the top of the pyramid in the intended way. When you get to the top of the pyramid, like, that's pretty fun, but then you also got a stone pillars as well to unlock one of the stars it's required. You can just hop out of that and collect the star easily, bypassing the challenge. And so that is kind of like a flaw I have. Same with the second star as well, where you have to like jump in 5 spots, collect 5 coins to unlock the star. You can just like jump out of a pyramid. That I'm not a huge fan. I wish if the cage like does it in a way that you can't just jump out and get to the top of the platform. You know, I wish if you can't do that. For speedrunning, it's kind of fun, but it kind of like defeats the purpose of the challenge, you know. So that's like a flaw I have. But then I do want to talk about one more thing. This is the first level in our stage tier list right here, where we have to fight a boss. And honestly, the IROC boss is pretty cool. Instead of like defeating the boss with 3 hits, you defeat the boss with 6 hits. By that I mean like, and so it technically takes like 6 hits, even though like 3 for each eye, each hand takes 3 hits, but it's pretty cool. And honestly, it is like one of my favorite bosses in the game. But I also do want to talk about the biggest flaw in Shifting Sandland. That is that if you enter a pyramid, you can't get out of the pyramid. You know, you're stuck inside the pyramid, and even if you die, you'll still be spawned in the pyramid. And so That is the flaw I have, and it's a pretty unfortunate flaw because it has potential. Like, for 100 coin stars, you're required to go inside a pyramid. And you're required to collect some coins outside a pyramid as well, because neither places have 100 coins. So, if you go inside a pyramid and you die, your coin resets to 0, but you can't get outside a pyramid at all. There's no possibility. That is a huge no-no for me. Like, you are forced to collect the star, and since you start from the bottom of the pyramid, you have to go all the way up. If I can just fight the IROC boss easily, I would enjoy that, fighting the boss again. But I don't think we can though, unless if we click the IROC boss fight. This flaw though, is actually a major flaw. I enjoy it more than Tall Town Mountain, but this flaw is actually worse. You know? But I still enjoy the level, and it's really creative concept, which is why I would put it above Tall Mountain. But honestly, this flaw though, really disappointing. Next up in the list, unfortunately has a similar flaw to Shifting Sand Land. Lethal Lava Land. Now first things first, I do want to say, I actually do enjoy the stars a lot. The first bully star, it's a joke, though. That one is a complete joke. He just dies in one hit. Or like, not in one hit, but like if he falls into lava, he just dies once. I wish if the big bully like gets back up, and you have to push into the lava 3 times. Similar to the Chief Chili fight in Mario 64 DS. I wish if it's like that, but sadly, that's not the case, and the first star is kinda lame. And the second star is better because you're required to defeat 3 smaller bullies in order to get the larger bully in the stage. And then you have to defeat the larger bully, and then you get the star. But then I have to bring up the rest of the stars. They're really fun. The rest of the stars are genuinely fun. Like getting the wing cap and then flying towards the 3rd star is really cool. And then the 100 coin star too. It's beautiful. You know, it's really fun. And, you know, with riding on a Koopa shell on the lava, it's just really fun, satisfying. It's just really fun, you know. I really enjoyed the 100 coin star. One of my favorites in the game, the Koopa shell. And then the 8 red coin star is the most satisfying 8 red coin star ever in Mario 64. Because they're just located in one spot in Bowser statue. It's definitely not my least favorite, because it's just so satisfying to get. Like, it's just the easiest 8 red coin star in this game. But the fact that you just can collect all 8 red coin stars in like 2 seconds is just really fun. You know, I really enjoyed that. But then we got the volcano, and the stars inside the volcano are really good. Unlike Shifting Sand Land, where you have the possibility to bypass the challenge, Lethal Lava Land, you just start from the below. And so you have to climb your way up on both the stars. You know, the pole jumping is pretty fun, and then trying to climb up the up the volcano, also pretty fun. I really enjoyed all the stars. But then there's the flaw that Shifting Sand Land had with its pyramid, and that's the fact that you can't get out of the volcano. You are not required to go inside the volcano, because there are like 107 coins outside the volcano in Lethal Lava Land. But then the flaw is still the same. Like, if you still decide to go inside in the volcano to get 100 coins, well, if you die, then too bad, so sad, you have to start over again. And so that's the issue. But knowing that like you're not required to go inside a volcano for 100 coin stars are pretty good. But still, like, if you still choose to go inside a volcano, then, and this happened to me too, like I died in a volcano, I missed a 100 coin star, I have to start over again. My personal experience kind of became a factor here. It's still like, knowing this, it's definitely better than Shifting Sand Land in this regard. But overall too, the stars in general are better in Lethal Lava Land than Shifting Sand Land, which is why I have this above. The next level I want to put is Cool Mountain. Cool Mountain, it's really fun. I really enjoyed the stars. The slide star, it's pretty cool, and the shortcut is actually really fun as well. The baby penguin star is also pretty fun. Plus, it's really funny seeing the mama penguin's reaction of you taking her baby penguin and then dropping the baby penguin on the cliff. You know, that's just brutal, but it's still really fun. The red coin stars. It's split out and trying to find different locations. It's really cool. Plus, if you miss any of the 8 red coins, then you can just teleport back, and that's pretty fun as well. And then there's also a second slide star where you challenge a penguin. Unlike the first slide star, you cannot take any shortcuts. Like, you have to actually slide, and that's really nice detail they added, and I do enjoy that. And the snowman star, you know, snowman lost his head. That one too, like, you have to slide perfectly. You cannot make any mistakes in how you slide, and you cannot go off the edge, because if you go off the edge, you have to start all over again. But it's still really fun. But then we got the infamous Wall Kicks Will Work star, and I just want to say that star's really creative. Like, doing it in the intended way is the best way. Like, it's my favorite way to do it. Of course, there are many ways to do that. Like, you can just like jump on the enemy and then just spin all the way to the star. That's pretty fun. But then the intended way as well. Like, you have to like unlock a cannon. You have to like blast to the tree. You have to walk through the edge, and then you finally reach to the platform, and you have to wall jump twice. And so the first wall jump is nothing too crazy, but the second wall jump, if you miss, you have to start over again. And the wall jump, again, like I mentioned, is a lot harder. Again, really fun, really challenging. I definitely enjoyed that, and I think that star is my favorite star in the level. And overall, it's a really good level. I enjoyed it, but there are levels I like even more. Next up, we got this one. Barely missing out on the top 5. We got Tick-Tock Clock. I do want to say it's a really fun level. You know, it's pretty creative. I do like, the first star though is nothing too special, honestly, just like climb to the middle portion. And yeah, again, nothing too special. The second star though is more creative, as you have to stand on the minute sign, and then when it gets to the star, that's when you can jump out, and you're required to have a time so that you can go through there. And ideally, you do want to choose like a pretty fast time, so that it will be pretty quick. And yeah, that is the gimmick. You can actually change like how fast the objects move. If you jump on 3, then the objects move pretty slow. They rotate pretty slow. If you jump on 6, it will be in a medium speed. If you jump on 9, then it will be really fast. And so there's that. But if you happen to jump on 12, nothing moves at all, you know? Nothing. It just stops working. And that's how it is. And that is required for the 8 red coin star. It is a concept of trying to get the 8 red coins. You stop time to get 8 red coins, hence the name. Definitely not the best 8 red coin star, but still enjoyed it. And then we also got Stomp on the Twomp as well. It is like the hardest non-100 coin star, in my opinion, because you have to like, for starters, like you're required to have some time, because like some parts they move and you have to like jump on them, those platforms, to go to the other side. And when there's time, like there's some challenges too, so that you won't get pushed off, and if you fall down, then you die. And so yeah, that also plays a role in the 100 coins as well. So I think that would be like if you're going to do Stomp on the Twomp, then you do want to do the 100 coin star. I don't think you have to like stomp on the Thwomp, because I did wall jump. I did manage to get the star by wall jumping. Like wall jumping through there, and then I got the star like that for the platform. I got to the other... No, I think you do have to get on the Thwomp, but like I don't think you have to get on like the higher platform, because you could just wall jump from the bottom area. That I remember doing something like that, but that's like my favorite star in Tick-Tock Clock. And then there's also like other small stars that are nothing too special, but overall like still really enjoy this level, which is why it ranks 6th place. Now we do Big Boo's Haunt. And oh god damn it. Okay, my mouse is acting really weird. Alright. This stage has the most mini bosses in the level, with 4 of them. 4 mini bosses. But like the way you unlock the mini boss is pretty creative. So for the star 1, you have to fight the Big Boo on the floor. You're required to defeat small boos that are around, and so that would encourage you to go through many rooms and defeat those boos. That is a really creative concept. You know, I do enjoy the first star. And then unlike the smaller boos, in order to defeat the Big Boo, you have to defeat the Big Boo 3 times. It is a bit more challenging, but honestly, it's still kind of a joke. The second star, it's a merry-go-round. The small boos, they spawn once at a time, and you are actually moving around. And then there's a painting that blows fire, and so there is some challenge to that, but honestly it's too easy as well. The third star, I believe that is the star that requires you to hit the blocks. You know, that is pretty fun, honestly. I do enjoy that, like hitting the blocks, but then honestly I think you can like skip that star as well by just long jumping or triple jumping to another platform. But either way, it's still kind of fun. We got the 8 red coin star. They are separated throughout the stage. The fact that they're separated, although like 2 of them are grouped together underneath the coffins. But overall, I do enjoy the 8 red coin stars. And then there's one behind the mad piano. And the mad piano, I wish if there's more than one mad piano in the game. And then we got the 5th star, which is the under roof, and the boss fight itself, it's easy, but then like getting to the star itself is a challenge, and so yeah, that challenge is kind of fun. And then we also got the Mr. I star. That is just a complete joke. You know, get the vanish cap, go inside a painting, and yeah, just spin around for a while, and then Mr. I dies. What a joke. The Boo boss fights, like the first 2 are really creative, and the third one too. Like, you have to get to the star, which is kind of a challenge, which I do like. And the 100 coin star too, like it does encourage you to go throughout the level, but then defeating the boos and getting the blue coin switch is pretty fun as well, and like gives you a good amount of coins, and so that is pretty fun. And overall, like I do enjoy the stars a lot. I mean, the Mr. I star is kind of a joke, but I do like the rest of the stars, and so 5th place is an appropriate spot for Big Boo's Haunt. The next up on the list is Tiny Huge Island. Tiny Huge Island, you are not last place at all. Now, I said that Wet Dry World has the most interesting gimmick. I take that back. That does not have the most interesting gimmick. It's Tiny Huge Island. First of all, you can just decide which island you choose to go. So, you can choose to go to the tiny island by going to the tiny painting, or you choose to go on the huge island on the huge painting. And each island is different. Tiny island, the enemies are so tiny. You know, you can just jump on them, or for the Goombas, they can just kill themselves like that. It's not a joke as you think, because you can actually fall down really easily, and you could die. You also got some other stars as well. You know, the second star that you just go upwards to the huge island. Yeah, the first star, like you just pluck the giant piranha plants. That is kind of like a mini boss fight. The second though, like it's nothing too special. Just climbed a huge island. It's still fun. I enjoyed that. But then the third one, you rematched Koopa the Quick, and I'm telling you, the Koopa the Quick rematch, while kind of easy, is a massive improvement because there is some actual challenge. Alright, it's not too easy. Because, spoilers, the Bob-omb Battlefield, Koopa the Quick, that is a complete joke. But this one, a huge improvement. And so, there's that, and then the Wiggler boss fight, yep. Another pretty big boss fight. Like the way you get to the Wiggler boss fight is pretty cool. Like, you first have to go to the tiny island, then ground pound on that small crate, and then like the water just goes down. You go to the huge island, and it's somehow the water is not there anymore. And you know, honestly, like for me, it's kind of hard to believe that because like, is there really another Mario who's too giant in a huge world? Like, how did that crate break when Mario just break in it? Like, I don't know, or maybe just the size magically increases. And so there's that, and then you fight the Wiggler boss fight, and the Wiggler boss fight, honestly, it's kind of fun. Like, especially after the third hit, like the Wiggler jumps around, and it's kind of hard to hit him. But again, it's a bit too easy. But I still enjoy the boss fight. And then after that, like you also got like the 8 red coins inside the maze. You know, that is also really cool. But again, it's not too easy though, because even though they're grouped together, you do have to make precise jumps, and so that could get in my way sometimes. Like, got in my way sometimes. But like, it's still pretty fun trying to get those red coins. And then the 100 coins. Now, listen. This level has the most coins, alright? Because there are 2 separate worlds in one level. In the small world, you have a couple coins, and the huge world, you have way more coins. Like, you got the blue coin switch, which only gives you 2 coins. But then you also got the big Goombas, and if you ground pound on them, they'll give you the blue coins. And there are many of them, and so you get a lot of blue coins. With the amount of blue coins you get, you know, like, it really helps you with the 100 coin star and makes it like probably the easiest 100 coin star in the game. But it is pretty easy to flip in the tiny island, and so you gotta worry about that. But overall, I think 4th place is an appropriate spot for Tiny Huge Island with its best and most creative gimmick. Now, at 3rd place, we got Whomp's Fortress. This level, along with another level, are the most nostalgic levels in Mario 64. I do like the nostalgic levels. But I do want to say that this is the first linear structure level you'll likely play. I'm sure some of them probably would play Cool Mountain before Whomp's Fortress, but to majority, this will likely be the first linear style. I mean, it's not linear, it's still like open, you're still like free to move around, but it is it is like kind of linear, like Cool Mountain and Tiny Huge Island, compared to the other levels. There are also like creative stars though, I do want to say that. This level does have some creative stars. Now, let's get started with the boss, and honestly, it's a complete joke. Like, honestly, in my opinion, it is my least favorite boss in the game. And that's to one reason. You can cheese that boss fight by doing ground pounds. Like, if the Whomp falls over you, just ground pound, you won't get hurt at all. You can just like bypass his attack and you can attack him. That one just sucks, man. The fact that they had that as an option, it just really takes it down for me. But then, the second star, that is better though, as you do have to climb up the tower, and it is pretty fun to climb up. And then, the 8 red coin star are probably my second or third favorite 8 red coin star in the game. Yeah, like the fact that like it's in different locations and you have to try to collect those 8 red coins, it's really cool. And now we have two cannon shrines. One is the blast to the something, I forgot, but like you blast to one the platforms, and then you have to bonk at the pillar, and then so that you can go down the pole, or you can just simply wall jump and get the star like that. You could do that. And then the other one is blast away the wall, and honestly that star is pretty creative. Honestly, you just have to blast to the wall, and then you can collect that star by climbing back up. I also want to say that, yeah, it's like this, Lethal Lava Land, and the other level that I'll talk about later. They're my top 300 coin stars, and like the coins, they're spread out everywhere. You can just collect those coins in the platforms above that spin around. You can collect that, or you can collect coins, the blue coins for the Piranha Plans. You also have the blue coin switch, which is the first switch you'll likely encounter, and you can get blue coins like that. Really fun. And so I do enjoy this level a lot. The 100 coin star is good, and the owl star as well. Like, it is pretty tight, but there is some challenge, and you have like infinite attempts as long as you don't die. And so the owl star too is really creative star. There are a lot of creative stars. Alright, the 8 red coin star is creative. In my top 3, the 100 coin star, definitely in my top 3, probably my favorite. And then we also got like creative stars like the tower star, and then we got the owl cage star, and so that is really fun as well. And then the blast away the wall star too, it is pretty fun as well. I enjoy that. The other cannon star, I'm okay with that. It's okay. But the Womp fight though, that is just a complete joke. I mean, I think the DS fixed that issue, but I'm doing it in perspective of Mario 64, and I want to say that like the Womp fight is easily my least favorite boss. But this isn't a boss ranking though, this is a level ranking. And so, yeah, Womp's Fortress, definitely my number 3 spot. Number 2, is not Bob-omb Battlefield. That is number 1. Snowman's Land is number 2. Now, I just want to say, I'll first talk about Snowman's Land, and it is the most underrated Mario 64 level of all time. I really enjoy Snowman's Land. I want to put this in number 1, but it's not that nostalgic. That is something that Snowman's Land kind of misses, but I really enjoy the level. First of all, the snowman star, that is pretty creative. Like, you have to walk behind the penguin, or I think you just like stand above the penguin as well. You could do that, but it's on an icy platform. It does get a bit annoying with the penguin walking backwards, and the consequence of like missing means that the snowman will blow you away and you'll lose your cap. The consequence too is pretty fair. And then the second star is the Ice Bully star. And honestly, like, first of all, why aren't there more Ice Bullies? Because the Ice Bully looks so cool. Like, I wish if there were more mini Ice Bullies, because then that would make it really fun. They would just like push us in the water, or the icy cold water that feels like lava. That would be nice. When it comes to the boss fight, you know, I said the Womp boss is a joke. Well, I think that this boss is probably a bigger joke, because like it's on an icy surface. You can just dive at the Ice Bully and then you can collect the star like that. But at the same time, like, if the Ice Bully does happen to push you, which is kind of unlikely, then there is a possibility that you can take damage from the ice lava, and so there was probably like a tad bit of challenge. This is definitely the easiest boss fight. And yeah, that is like the only boss fight. I'm glad it's there. I just wish if there were more Ice Bullies. And the third one though is pretty creative, because you have to jump on that spin enemy. I forgot the name, but you have to jump on that enemy and then you collect the star right there. And then the fourth star, which I believe is the red coin star, that one is just chef kiss, because like you do the same procedure as you do for Star 3, but you also collect red coins and you get the Koopa Shell instead. So Koopa Shell and then get the red coins, and the first 4 red coins are nothing too special, but they're grouped together. Would be nice if they're separate. And then we got 2 red coins that are grouped together under the Ice Bully ring, and then you have 2 red coins that are separated. But overall, I still enjoy surfing for the red coins. I do wish if the red coins, at least like 2 more of the red coins are split apart. That would be nice. But I do like the red coins in this game more than the DS red coins. I think this is, or at least it's in my top 3. I can't say it's favorite because like 4 of the coins are grouped together, but I still like really enjoy it. But the 100 coin star is something that's definitely in my top 3, because you surf for the red coin, you surf for like the 100 coins, collect coins like that. You even go inside the igloo. When you go inside the igloo, you would find more coins, and you also have to get Vanish Cap to get 20 of those coins as well. And that is a really creative concept. I really enjoy the idea behind that. Unlike Lethal Lava Land or Shifting Sand Land, if you go inside the igloo, you can still come out. That is a plus factor, and I really enjoy Snowman's Land's 100 coins. Like easily in my top 3. You know, this, Whomp's Fortress, and Lethal Lava Land. There's also the Igloo Star as well. And first, I just want to say, the igloo outside, it's just so tiny. But then when you get inside, it just magically appears. You know, similar to that Harry Potter. Like the tent outside looks pretty small, but when you get inside, it's like a penthouse. But the Vanish Cap Star, like it's kind of like a maze. Like you try to find the Vanish Cap. You know, that's like the actual challenge, but then once you get the Vanish Cap, there's not really that much of a challenge, but still, like, you still found a path, and so you can get the Vanish Cap Star, and yeah, it's like that. And I really enjoy the stars, the surfing, and then in the deep freeze too. It's actually pretty cool. You know, honestly, they could make that as an actual maze as well, an actual ice maze, but I actually do like the star as well. And overall, like, the Ice Bully, it's still kind of fun that it's there. And overall, I do enjoy all the stars in this level, which is why it ranks number 2. The only reason why it doesn't rank number 1 is because Bob-omb Battlefield is the most nostalgic level in Mario 64. I mean, Whomp's Fortress is also really nostalgic, and it came back in Galaxy 2. And I didn't play Galaxy 2, but I know it came back. But I personally find Bob-omb's Battlefield to be more nostalgic. Now, King Bob-omb boss fight. The King Bob-omb boss fight is actually pretty fun. It actually does a pretty good job as the first boss fight. And the reason why is that the King Bob-omb boss fight, it's not too hard. Alright, it's not that hard. Because you just have to toss him 3 times, like go behind. But trying to go behind him, though, is actually a lot harder than you think. Because, like, you do have to, like, spin around and grab him. And then you toss him 3 times. And so, like, you have to grab him behind. And that means that he can, like, spin around pretty quickly. Or maybe not too quickly, but, like, once you toss him, he does spin around pretty quickly. And so, and if he happens to catch you, then he'll toss you pretty far away. And possibly outside the ring. And so that is like a consequence, you know. You get tossed out of the ring, you have to start the battle over again. But that's the same case for King Bob-omb as well. Like, if you toss King Bob-omb out of the ring, then he just magically, like, jumps like 500 feet in the air, and then comes back down, and we have to start the boss fight over again. That is really cool, and overall, I do say that it's definitely better than King Whomp's boss fight, and overall, definitely does a good job as the first boss fight in Mario series. But then we got the Koopa the Quick, and the Koopa the Quick It's an absolute joke, okay? But still kind of fun though. The concept is pretty fun, but then like you cannot use cannons because that would be considered cheating, but I wish that if you teleport it's invalid, and that counts as cheating and you get disqualified. Now like the star in the Lonely Island, I think that's the same. You have to like launch a cannon to fly over there, you collect the star. That is pretty good as well. You know, I do enjoy that. And there's also a red coin there too, so you have to go there again as well for the red coin star. And the red coin star, they're spread out. And then there are 2 of them that were grouped together, rest of them are spread out. It's really fun. And there's also a Koopa shell too, which does help. The chain shot star, it's not too easy, because if you get hit, you take a lot of damage. But like once you get the first hit, you kind of get the rhythm and you hit 2 more times. You ground pound the pole 2 more times, and then the chain jump flies, you get the star. Pretty easy. And then the flying star too, like you collect 5 coins to get the star. That is really creative as well. I mean, trying to get the 5 coins in the first shot is pretty hard, but then like you don't have to do that. Like you can just fly and then come back down, and using those 5 coins, using those like the circles, you can get help that to get 100 coin star, and that really helps you as well, and that makes the 100 coin star really fun as well. And I do enjoy the 100 coin star in Bob-omb Battlefield as well. And so overall, I do enjoy the stars here. And my least favorite star is the Koopa the Quick star, but otherwise rest of the stars are really fun. I really enjoy that, and King Bob-omb definitely does a good job as the first boss fight. And here it is. This is the tier list. And so overall, these 2 would be number 1 actually. I would want to give both these first place, but since Bob-omb Battlefield is more nostalgic, I did give it an edge, even though Snowman's Land is without question the most underrated Mario 64 level in my opinion. And then this one too, really good as well. And then these 4 really fun levels. These 2 levels do have like a pretty significant flaw, especially Shifting Sand Land. And then Tall Tall Mountain, again really good level, but I do like the stars in these 2 levels more. Wet Dry World has a really interesting gimmick, and then but then the water does get in the way. It's a half water level. And then yeah, Hazy Maze Cave, again pretty, it has interesting stars, but the aesthetic overall is not that interesting. And then these are the bottom 3. You know, the Dar Dar Docks, Jolly Roger Bay, water levels, really boring and kind of a headache, especially Dar Dar Docks. And then Rainbow Ride 2, really slow level, does have some creative concept of the stars, but easily the worst non-water level. But yeah, there you have it. My rankings. Do you guys agree with my rankings? Let me know in the comments. And since we're getting the 40th anniversary pretty soon, there are some rumors that there will be a Nintendo Direct on September 12th. And yeah, hopefully there you'll see the new 3D Mario game, or at least like if there will be an announcement for like Mario 40th Direct, if there will be one, then hopefully like we'll see like that. You know, we'll see a new 3D Mario game that is really ambitious, you know, and hopefully brings back like these 3 levels again, especially Bob-omb Battlefield. I would love to see that again. And Snowman's Land will be nice, but I don't think they'll do that. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you agree. If you like this video, then hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. But with that said, I'll see you next time. Take care, everyone.